Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Infitech. Today's video we are going to see how do we convert a given CSV file to multiple JSON files. So for instance, let's say we have been given a CSV file which has some 100 records, and let's say we wanted to create an JSON file for each and every row in that particular CSV file. So basically we are going to write a util function to complete this task. So let us first analyze the CSV file. Let us first understand how we are going to do this and start implementing. So let's get into the video. So firstly, let us open our CSV file. So this is the users.csv file we have. I have around 100 rows in this file. So in each row I have a name, age, email, city of that user and the mobile number of that particular user. Now so let's say I have the requirement to read the CSV file. So while reading to each and every row in this CSV file, let's create a JSON file out of it. And so basically this we are going to convert into a struct in our Go code, and then we are going to marshal it into JSON and create a file out of it. So all the, let's say we have 100 rows here, we are going to create 100 JSON files and store that all 100 JSON files in this files directory. Okay, now let's start with main.go. Okay, I have this simple main.go file which has nothing. And now let's see our models directory, which is having this user struct. So this is this corresponds to the CSV file which we have seen earlier, which this user struct is having name, age, email, city, phone number and the JSON version of it, which corresponds to this user.csv file. Okay, we have this user.go model file, and we have this utils package which has utils.go file. Okay, now we are going to write a reusable CSV to multiple JSON files, CSV to, let's say, multiple, let's say CSV to JSON files. So this is going to be a reusable function. You can use this function to any kind of CSV file. Let's write a function in such a way that it can be used for any CSV file. Okay, now let's get started. So basically our idea is to read this CSV file. While reading for each and every row, convert this row to, maybe map this row to our user struct. So after mapping, we must be able to get the struct. Okay, and we must be able to get the file name. And once we do that, let us convert this, let us marshal this into JSON. Take that JSON, place that JSON in a newly created file under this files directory. So that's our task for today. So yeah, let's say this is a, let's first create the function signature. So please don't mind if this video is going to be longer, because we are writing each and every line of code. So maybe if you feel it's a bit slow, you can fast forward this. And let us take the CSV file path as input. Okay, and second argument can be output directory and can also be string. Output directory is nothing but our files. And third one, which is very important to make our function reusable, we are going to say that our third argument is going to be a function. So this function should have this signature. So for each and every row we read from CSV file, we call this function, which is map row to struct. So we are going to pass the so while reading each and every row, we get a slice of string. So in your slice of strings, this is all your data. And after you pass the slice of string, the output which you expect from this function should be the user struct and the file name, and if there is any error, you can return from that map row to struct. Okay, so Now, so I will be skipping error handling in this video. You can add error handling wherever required according to your use case. So now let us do one thing. Let us use os.open CSV file. os.open. Let me open the CSV file. I will be getting CSV file comma error. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, I will be ignoring all the errors. Okay, you can handle errors while you are implementing, and our responsibility is to close this CSV file because we have opened it. Now let me create a CSV reader using the CSV package and pass in the CSV file. So you will be getting a reader with you. Okay, and once you have, okay, let's do one thing first. Let us use this reader.read. Basically this reader.read will read one record. So first record in our CSV file is going to be the header. So we don't want to create a JSON file for the header. Let's first read the header. So while reading the header, you might get the slice of string or you might get the error. Okay, so we don't need both of those. Let's ignore. And once you have read the header, okay, I'll write. Okay, maybe let's do also handle. Okay, let's do this simple thing. And also while reading the header, if you might get any error, let us handle it as well. So once you have completed reading the header, now your task is to create an output directory here. Also let us delete these files. Okay, mkdir all. Let us create an output directory and let us give the required permissions. Okay, now once you have created the directory, your task is to read all the records in the CSV file. So I'm going to say reader dot read, and for each read you will be getting a record or some error. Okay, so we must read this while we reach the EOF. Okay, now let us also capture the error, which is important here. Or if error is not equal to nil. Okay, now let's call our map pro2 struct and pass in the slice of string which is record, and in return you'll get a data file name, and if there is any error you will be getting it. And let's see if, let's do some error check. If there is some error, let us return that error here. So maybe you can do error handling in a good way. I'm just simply returning the error here, and after you received the data, your task is to marshal it. I'm going to use marshal indent and pass in the data for each row. Let me use some prefix and some indent, and so after this you will be getting JSON data or any error. And the same thing if okay, once you have the JSON data with you, you have to create a output file. I'm going to use file path.join output directory, and so with the output directory you can say file name plus .json. so you'll get JSON file path. Mostly it is going to be a string. Okay, so now your task is to do os.write file. So you're going to write a JSON file path. What you're going to do in that file, you're going to write JSON data with the required permissions. Okay, so while writing you might face some errors. So if there is any error, and at last, once you have successfully completed, let's do one thing. Okay, and at last you don't have any errors here, so simply return nil. Okay, let us use println because this error f returns error, so it's better to use println. Okay, now let us call this CSV to JSON files util function in our main.go. Now let's get into main.go and let us first call utils dot CSV to JSON. First argument is CSV file path users dot CSV, and output directory is going to be files directory, and our third argument should be the map row to struct function. So if you remember, we discussed earlier, so our map row to struct signature should be map row to user. So it should accept a record which is of type slice of string, and in return it should return an interface and the file name, and if there is any error. Okay, and pass in this map row to user, and if there is any error, let us print that error, and also let us panic. Okay, now let's do the heavy lifting here. So first thing, if we can see the CSV file, age is of integer and phone number is also, let's say, int 64. So that is already defined in this user.go struct. Okay, int 64 string int string. Now in this map row to user, let's do string conversion, string to integer. We can say record 1, which is nothing but record of 1 is nothing but your age, and let's import the string package, and also let us convert the phone number string to integer. And now let's do let's form a struct. Okay, so for each and every row we receive in that for loop which we have written in that util function, let us create a struct out of it. So basically this is what you need to do: name, age, email, city, and phone number. You're converting it to int64, and your task is to return this struct, and we are going to return the second argument as file name. So since phone number is the unique one, let us consider phone number as the file name, and there is no error. Okay, so that's all. Let's see how many errors we will get. Now let me run this and see if we get any errors. Go run main.go. It is successful, but oh, sorry, I think we need to place this panic only if there is error. If error is not equal to nil, then print and panic. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's delete this and rerun again just for my satisfaction. So it is saying CSV to JSON files is successful. Let us validate. Okay, I have this files directory, and I can see some JSON files. Okay, name, age, email, city, phone number, right? And the file name is nothing but the user's phone number. Okay, so this function is reusable and it can be used for any CSV file. All you need to do is heavy lifting in this map row to struct function. So where you can do that slice of string to struct conversion here, and return back that to this util function, and it will take care of creating multiple JSON files to all the CSV files present in this so to all the CSV records present in this users.csv file. So basically that's how you convert a CSV to multiple JSON files in Go. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.